Welcome back to Moving Abroad 222 podcast. I am your host, Alay Washun. Thank you for returning every Thursday. If you are back, we love you. Thank you so much for being here. Today on this episode, I think you guys are going to love it. Yet again, another banger. Don't we always have the best guests? I know we do. So I'll let my guest introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Nick. Or you want me to say
Hi,
more?
Nick.
Sorry.
Hi,
Hi.
Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Well rested. Happy Monday. Doing well.
Oh, no, you can keep talking.
Oh, my
That
bad.
was one of those. That was one of. Listen, this is the real raw, unedited. That was one of those situations where the phone still rung, and you just clearly saw me put it on do not disturb.
You did. Isn't that crazy?
I
But yeah,
did, didn't
I'm Nick. I'm from Louisiana. I'm currently living abroad in Mexico. I lived before that in New York. Moved here about a year ago, living in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And yeah, I think that's everything.
we love it. We love it. So you're in Mexico. So where specifically are you from originally? Like, where were you born?
Okay, so I was born in Houston, Texas. Beyonce and I
Okay.
are cousins.
Okay.
Is what I always say.
Right. Okay. Then from Houston, you were you in Houston all your life, or you bounced around?
No, from Houston, my dad used to work in construction. Well, he's retired now, but he worked in construction when I was a kid. So
Mhm.
we moved around a little bit. So from Houston, we moved to Connecticut. Then Connecticut, we moved to Arlington, Texas. And Arlington, Texas is where I like sort of like grew up into a young kid. And then my parents divorced, and I moved to a very small town in Louisiana called Eunice. So, big city, small town, like kind of had like a melting pot of things when I was growing up.
Hmm. I love it. So, at what point did you move? Like, at what point did you move abroad out of the U.S.?
At what point did I move? I was in New York. Well, so let me back up a little bit. Before New York, I
Okay.
lived in Los Angeles. I lived in Los Angeles for 9 years. I went to school in Missouri before that for 4 years. And then after that 9 year stint in LA, I was like, I have bigger dreams and bigger city dreams. I always wanted to live in New York. Like, who doesn't, right? Like,
Right.
that's like one of those little American cliche dreams that you like
Yeah.
grow up fantasizing about. Okay, well, it's not all that when you live there. Let's be clear. Um, so I moved to New York 2019 for a job in social media at the Tamron Hall Show. And yeah, I mean, I lived there for 5 years. It was great. I had an awesome time. But I was living there, mind you, during the COVID pandemic. I stayed throughout
Oh,
that
okay.
time. I did not leave. It was very crazy. I also like went through like a big breakup there, so there was also that on my mental health. And my mom passed away like right when I
Oh
moved there.
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you. So it was a lot going on mentally, like while I was doing that whole New York stint. So I feel like
Mhm.
it's kind of like a blessing and a like curse to live there. So I was like, after 5 years, I think 5 years is a good number to sort of close this chapter. And then I've always wanted to like just bounce around the world. Like, I don't know. I've always been like very curious about different cultures and just different countries, cities, states, etc. And just wanting to learn more, like discover
Mhm.
all my life. So I knew I wanted to live abroad. And, after coming to Mexico for a couple of times for over a month each visit, I was like,
Okay.
wait a minute. There's something magical about Puerto
I
Vallarta.
like this. Right.
I need to come here for a little bit longer, honey, and really immerse myself in this city and this country. And yeah, so I said, if not now, when? Like, I need to just pull the trigger and do it, for lack of better terms, because at the end of the day, we all know, like, just the nature of being a human, like these days with all the distractions and ADHD that goes on up there. If
Yeah.
you don't do something like immediately or when you have that opportunity to do it, then you're never gonna do it.
You
So
never will. Yeah.
Never gonna do it. You're gonna just keep talking about, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. Okay, well, you never gonna do that. You just keep talking, but you don't do. And so, I'm tired of doing that. I said, we're doing it. I just said, bye. I packed up my bags, had three suitcases and a book bag, and I hightailed it down to Mexico. And I've been here
I
ever.
love it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like crazy to just like uproot your whole entire life and
Yeah, it
move
is.
move to a foreign country, as you know. Um, but at the end of the day, like I said, if not now, when? And I was really looking for just like a lot of change in my life. And I felt like moving abroad would challenge me to do that, and it has. And I was looking also just for like new vibes, new experiences outside of such Americanized culture. Like, that's all I know. And I'm tired of knowing just that. Like as Americans, we are like, told that we do things a certain way. And like it's like, no, there's so many other ways to do things. And
It is.
I want to see that from my own eyes that there's other ways
Mhm.
to do stuff. So I'm loving it. I don't regret a single thing. I would do it again tomorrow.
Wow. Don't regret a single thing. Do it again tomorrow. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's take it back. What type of mindset do you have to be in to just pack up and go? Where were you mentally? Where was your mental health at that point as you're packing?
Yo, let me tell you this story. Okay, so picture me, right? You see the face, you see the vision.
Hmm.
Um, I'm walking down Church Avenue in Brooklyn in Flatbush. That's where I lived, right?
In Brooklyn, Flatbush. Okay.
Very, very highly concentrated area, right? There's people everywhere. There's stuff everywhere. There's, construction happening. There's subways. There's people. There's cars. There's bikes, motorbikes. It's chaos, right? I'm walking down the street.
Hmm.
There is a guy up in like the ceiling area of an like a little like bodega doing God knows what. But all of a sudden, there's sparks flying like Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial. I'm like, oh my God, there's like sparks flying on me. Like I thought I was gonna get burned from like the welding thing. They were like welding something and
Oh,
sparks
wow.
flying on me as I was walking by. I was like, okay, it's time to go. Like that was like the last 2, 3 weeks I was in New York. Stuff like that kind of kept happening, like little like, very agitated, hyper agitated moments.
Hmm.
Um, and I was just like burnt out from all of that. Like it's so much in living in New York. And then there was people like on the subway shooting, like and then there was just like the weather was crazy. It was just a lot going on constantly. And to go back to your question, how was my mental health? Not well. Like I was crying constantly, trying to figure out like what I was doing with my life, feeling like a failure. I was also just like exhausted because of so many things like that happening like every day. Like you feel like you want to curse people out on the street. Like that's not how I should be moving through life. Like wanting to like cuss people out. And they say New Yorkers are rude. You're muted, I think. But they say New Yorkers are rude, but y'all don't understand. Like we be going through so much like those moments. That's why we become rude. And it's like, I was like, wait, I don't want to live my life like this. Like this is toxic. I do not want to be toxic more than I can handle or more than I can like
Right.
stand. So I said I have to change something. And I was like, well, where else am I gonna move? Like I'm the type of person that's like gonna level up each time I move or level up in my life. Like I'm not gonna go back. Like I'm not gonna move from New York to Louisiana. Like I'm no shade to Louisiana because that's where I'm from, but that sounds like a downgrade to me. I'm not doing that. I have to constantly level up. So I said, well, let's go overseas or overseas. Mexico's not overseas, but you get what I'm saying. Let's go abroad. Because that's the next challenge for me, right? And I constantly want to be leveling up and challenging myself. And yeah, I mean, my mental health has definitely improved like drastically being here. So I definitely made the right call there. Cause I,
Yeah, and you have to. I feel like once you notice that everything that you've been doing is no longer working, I
hmm
feel like we have to then come to that realization that something needs to change.
yeah, and I mean, I had a breakdown in New York after COVID. I think it was 2020, late 2020 maybe. Um,
Hmm.
I haven't really publicly talked about this, but I had to go to the hospital. They had to come pick me up, like, and threw me in an ambulance and like get me on fluids and like all that stuff and make sure I was like okay and not. I was having a panic attack though, and
Mm.
never had a panic attack like that before. But there were so many things like overwhelming.
Going on.
Yeah, I was just overwhelmed, and I didn't want that to ever happen to me again. So I knew if I didn't leave that God knows what else would have happened to me mentally or like physically. So I had to take control of that and get out.
So, question: do you feel like environment played a big part in your mental health?
Oh my God, yeah. So what people don't realize about New York is it's a great place to visit, right? So
Hmm.
much to do, so much fun stuff there, and so much, vibrancy. But when you live in a place like that, it really consumes you. Like you're just like overwhelmed. And when you live in a big city like that, like where I live now is not a big city, and I don't think I will ever live in a big city like that again for a long permanent period of time because listen, I am not built for it. Like it's just not for me. So I'll never make that mistake again. And I totally think your environment plays a huge part in your mental health, your overall health. Like, you're you're constantly eating and sleeping and breathing in that negativity. You're probably going to perpetrate that as well,
Right.
right? So, I found myself becoming something that I wasn't going to want to be. So I had to walk away from that.
Wow, that's so deep. I feel like people don't realize that all of that commotion, not saying it's a bad thing. Some people love being
Yeah.
overstimulated, but when it becomes a time when it's just too much, it's too much. And you realize, okay, so
Yeah.
getting on a flight and leaving and settling, touching down. At that point, oh shit, we're doing this, right?
No,
Like,
literally. I cried. I cried. I cried. I actually, before I came here, I actually went to visit one of my best friends, and I'm so glad that
mhm.
I kind of split that and had that moment with her because it kind of distracted me a little bit. Like, you
Oh, you
know,
got to visit before leaving.
yeah, I got to visit her before leaving. So I flew from her place. She was in St. Louis. I flew from
Mhm.
St. Louis here to Mexico, and um, it was nice to kind of split up the flight because it kind of distracted me and kind of took my mind off of, oh shit, you're leaving. But then when I got on that plane from her place to here, I was like, oh, I
It
can't
got
wait
real.
back. It got real. Like I was like, oh my God, like I'm actually leaving the country. Like and probably never coming back. Like I knew for a fact when I did it, it wasn't going to be a temporary thing. Like I'm not the type to quit, right? Like when I'm on a mission or on a journey or doing something, like I'm most likely just going to go through with it, even if I hate it, right? Like so I came here and I was like, oh shit, we're doing it. I got car service that day. I was like, ooh, let me like feel a little bit at ease because I had three suitcases. And I had to feel a little bit at ease in some air conditioning because it was also hot as hell here that day.
Oh, I know it was.
Oh my God, hot, humid. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, I got a car and they picked me up at the airport with my little name and drove me to my new apartment that I hadn't even seen, by the way. Like, I had a friend come check out my place before just to sort of like make sure it was, kosher or whatever. And he was like, yeah, it's great. And excuse me, I went ahead and signed the lease like without even seeing it, which is kind of crazy, but. It worked out.
Wow, I love that. So you just trusted the process. I love it.
Literally, yeah, I had to, and one thing that I'll tell you is I oftentimes felt that I was living like over analyzing everything all the time and overthinking everything all the time. That's a very thing like that we do in America, I feel like. We're always just like processing, thinking. I said, you know what? I just need to chill. Like, I was so high strung. Like, girl, like, I'm not even kidding you. My friends all were like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "No, bitch, I'm not good." That's
You was
why
just uptight. Yeah.
I'm uptight.
Wow.
Yes. I had to, yeah, I had to get that in check. And I was like, certain things we need to just like release and just trust and hope that it works out for the best. And usually it does. I mean, sometimes it has not, but we're working on just letting things go and just releasing a little bit more and like not everything you can control. And I'm a very controlling person. So I have learned that, not everything needs to be controlled. Like just let it flow. And it's been working well.
I love it. I love it so much because I think that that's something that we need to learn. Like I said, being Americans, I feel like we are always so uptight. We don't know how to be calm, even just with everything that we do. We overexert ourselves. And I think it's because of the environment and how we were brought up. Our normal is not like the rest of the world's normal. So I
Hmm.
feel like it's natural for us to just be like, and everybody looking at us like, you cool? Everything okay? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So I'm happy that you peep game and you were like, okay, I gotta bring it out, you know?
No, seriously. And then another thing on that too, we're always, you know, grinding and hustling and like I think that part of that hustle culture of New York City is very key to a part of the breakdown that I was kind of experiencing, right? Like that like climbing the corporate ladder all the time and like who gives a shit? Nobody cares about your title. Like, nobody cares. So I had to reconfigure my mind and my mindset to sort of get that out of my system. Nobody cares about your director role, senior director, VP. I'm chasing that title in corporate and still unhappy. Like, and then,
Exactly, exactly. Because at the end of the day, if you feel accomplished but your inner world is conflicted,
yeah,
why do we care? Why does it matter? None of it matters. You
none
you
of
get
it
what I'm
matters.
saying?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to unpack like the steps leading up to leaving, right? And then
Hmm.
getting there and adapting. So, what would you say your steps was just to prepare yourself for such a move, or did you even prepare? Because sometimes people don't get a chance, or sometimes they're forced to prepare subconsciously, and then they don't realize till they get there, like, oh, this is why I went through this. This is why I had that experience. I was getting put in position for this. So, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, so previously, um, 2 years before I moved here, I came here for a month. And then
Hmm.
a year later, I came back here for a month. And those 2 months of living here in Puerto Vallarta were magical for me, right? Like I was falling in love with the city. And I was like, I'm gonna move here one day. Like I just feel it in my soul. Like being by the beach, being in nature, and just like the food, the culture, the people here. I knew I wanted to move here at some point. Not forever, but just
Right.
the starting point of my journey, right? Kind of like what we
Hmm.
were talking earlier. But to answer your question, did I prepare? No. Like, and I know that's shocking to some
No,
people.
no, 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 no. It's not shocking. I feel like everybody has a different testimony. Some
Yeah.
people prepare, some people don't get the chance. You get what I'm saying?
I didn't do shit. I was just like, I had money in my bank account. That was my preparation. Like, I mean, I feel like, and people always ask me for advice about moving abroad and stuff, and I'm like, you just need to just do it. Like, don't overthink it. Again, we're going back to that like Americanism of overthinking every single thing. Sometimes you just need to do it and then experience it and just figure it out as you go. Like it's not going to be perfect even if you prepare. So why not just do it and see what happens? And that's what I did. I came here, like, I had my place. I didn't know where the grocery store was. Obviously, you're going to find it, right? You need to
Gotta
eat.
find it, right?
Found that Costco real quick. And then,
Costco. They got Costco there?
yes, girl, we got Costco. We got
Oh, I
Walmart.
love it.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
Costco.
Well, I'm happy to know
Um,
that now when I come that way.
oh
We
yeah,
got
baby.
Costco.
Costco is lit. I go there at least once or twice a month, like for sure. But yeah, I mean, for me, I kind of knew a little bit about Puerto Vallarta and like knew where things were, and I had a little community here. But at the end of the day, like with everything, you learn as you go. Like I'm very much a like throw me into the war and like let me fight and figure out my way to get through it. And I like that anyway, because I don't want to go somewhere and just like base my opinions off of what I've seen on the internet, right? Like, because we know that that is not always the case for you. You may like something that someone doesn't like, right? So for me, I encourage people to take a step back when you're researching and listening to all these voices and opinions and things, and just go and try it for yourself for a week, right? Before you do it for a year or whatever. And try not to listen to all the noise because there's a lot of noise out there with people moving abroad. And it's like, at the end of the day, you need to just go experience it, see for it for yourself before you listen into things. And also, one more tangent. Um, just make sure you actually go visit somewhere before you move, right? Like you're spending and uprooting your whole life somewhere. So you need to invest actually like spending a little time. Like I came here before I moved here. So I knew I was going to be like accepted. Like I had no issues like being here while I had visited. So I was like, okay, we're good there, right? Because we as black people, we have to be like, hold
We got to
on,
make sure we, right.
we got to make sure, honey, because I know people probably like, is he black? Yeah, I'm black, y'all. Um, so yeah, you have to make sure that you're like in a place where they like accept us and there's no issues. And there's been
Mm.
no people will stare at you, but they do that everywhere, child. So it's like whatever.
They
Sorry,
do.
long-winded answer,
No, no, no.
but
You're not long winded. We want to hear all of it because at the end of the day, I just want to say that I agree because it's like, okay, I'm a foreigner. So, of course,
yeah.
because I had to learn that too. Like, stop acting like you're not going to get a little bit of stares. Like, people are going to look. You're a foreigner. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. You're a foreigner. You look different to them. You speak loud. Like we are loud as Americans. That's just
Oh,
us.
we are
Child,
loud, aren't we?
we are loud. No matter if you're black or white or whatever. Like we're loud no matter what. And it's like they're not loud like that. Like they are not like like we are a different breed, y'all.
We
And
are.
I'm learning that being out in the wilderness, child. We are a different breed. And I'm trying to like unlearn all of that stuff and trying to be a better person and an example for my country because at the end of the day, child, it's a lot going on with our country right now. And I'm trying not to be that one that is looked at like, are you okay? No, baby,
Exactly.
not. But I'm trying to be okay.
Okay.
Trying to be a respectful American, you know?
I love that. You say I'm trying to just be better and represent my country in the best way
Yeah.
I can. Like that means
Trying
a lot because people don't give a shit. They don't care. That means everything. That's what's up.
No, they really do. And I see it. And it's like, it breaks my heart when I see people acting the way that we are stereotypically, said to act. And I'm like, oh my
Hmm.
God. Like, sometimes I will call people out. Like, I'm not afraid. If I see something, I'm gonna be like, are you okay? Like, that is not like appropriate. Like, I saw somebody touching, there was like these stone, you know how they put those stone, on top the stones like on top of each other and kind of like build like a little tower out of
Hmm.
rocks. This white guy like went up to the rock and grabbed it and then it fell. Like you're not supposed to touch those. Like those are
Are you
spiritual.
serious?
Yeah, and his wife was like, "Steven, what are you doing?" And then the kids were there. I'm like, that is crazy. Like, and yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff like
Secondhand
that.
embarrassment.
Yeah, very much. I was like, Mm-mm-mm. And kept walking. But yeah, it's a lot of little things like that that happen, and I'm just like, are you good? Like, what's going on upstairs? You know, it's very
It's the
interesting.
entitlement. I feel like a lot
Yeah,
of Americans have a strong sense of entitlement. I even honestly have to catch myself sometimes, like, hold
me
on, you
too.
acting like a Western. And
Yeah,
I have to
yeah,
correct it because, like, it's cool, but it ain't cool. Like, you gotta bring
yeah,
that shit down a notch. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? You're acting
for
like a
sure.
Western right now. Bring it down.
Yeah,
So I think that people don't care because even in our walk, somebody had told me, they were like, "Yeah, Americans have like an entitlement even in you guys' walk." And when I looked and I thought about it, I was
oh
like,
yeah,
we really do carry, and that's how people know who we are. Because of we
yeah,
just think we're the best in the world, like nobody's topping us, and it shows in our personality. And it's so crazy because like he probably didn't think that he shouldn't touch that, but he felt entitled. Well, I can touch you, who cares? You know?
yeah. Yeah. I that walk thing that you just said is very interesting because I walk really fast. Like I'm a fast walker. People do not walk fast. People don't walk fast in Mexico. Like they do not walk fast. And it's not their fault or their problem. I'm just like walking like I'm still in New York City. Again, trying to unlearn things. Like it's hard, but I've always been a fast walker. Like to be honest with you, I've always walked fast. But like people do not walk fast. Yesterday I'm walking and it's I was like, "Oh shit, this is an American moment." But it happened. I was walking across the street and a guy was walking this way. He let me go cuz he was like, "Child, you barreling through.
You in a rush.
You in a rush." And I like kind of was in a rush. But it happens. And I was like, "Oh, lo siento. Pardon." You know,
I love it. Right.
American
Right.
American
Sorry.
moment. I'm like, sorry, I'm
I love
trying here.
it. I love it
Yeah.
so much. So let's go into like community. How has your experience been with the people? Especially, are you still learning the language, or can you speak the language slightly fluently? Like how is that? Like submerging with the people in the language and community.
I will say my Spanish has definitely improved, but am I an
Hmm.
expert? No, absolutely not. So I have dyslexia, so it takes me a little longer to learn new things, especially like big things like languages being a complex thing to learn. So it does take me a little longer than like the average person. So
Hmm.
that said, I do have a teacher that is teaching me, and I am learning the language because I never want to be that person that's somewhere and doesn't know anything, right? Like, I
Hmm.
mean, I know how to greet people. Like, I know like different little like words, like excuse me and all that stuff. Like, I know those words, because I do feel like those are necessary. And then I know how to like order food because that's a very
Hmm.
like basic thing to
That's a
know.
big deal, though.
Yeah, so I know how to order food. What else? I know how to like ask you like how you're doing, like what's your name, like that kind of stuff. But don't try to ask me to like give you a whole paragraph or something like that. Like that is not what I can do yet.
You'll get
However, I
there.
do yeah, I'll get there eventually. But yeah, I would say like definitely when you learn, when you move somewhere, try to learn at least the basics.
I
And
agree.
try. Like they love to see you trying. Like, cause I saw this thing on the internet and it was like, or Jesus, I sound old. I saw a video on TikTok and it was like a black woman and she was speaking Spanish to the guy and he was like, "Oh wow. I always like love seeing, the black people try to speak, but the white people don't try." And it was like funny to hear him say that because it's like, damn, like we can at least try to speak the language. That's all we can do, right? They're not asking you to give them a full paragraph. At least at the bare minimum, you could say hola, gracias, like, adios, like just something.
Come
You know
on,
what I mean?
guys. You know.
Literally, the very, very basics is all. And people mostly here in Puerto Vallarta, it's a tourist town, right? So a lot of them speak Spanish and English, which has been helpful. Um, because at the end of the day, like I don't know fluid Spanish. So if I was somewhere that it spoke complete Spanish, that would probably be a bigger challenge for me. So there is that aspect that I'm kind of like, oh, when I go to a country that is very heavily speaking their own language, I'm gonna have to be using my translator, right? Like my Google Translate. And that's fine. Like you just adapt, right? You figure it out.
You do. You definitely figure out. So, like, you don't have an issue with community, do you? Since you know the basics, you don't have an issue with meeting people. How has that been? Do you have like a nice circle of friends that's diverse? How has it been? Just connecting with the community.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna go back to that too. I'm glad you brought it back up.
Oh no, you good.
Yeah, so community, I was very lucky here. I knew people. So I knew people before I moved because I had been to visit, right? So I know Americans that live here. I know Mexicans that live here. So I had already sort of had like a small base of people that I knew,
Hmm.
but also being here now full time, I've met more people, right? Um, Americans and Mexicans. So yeah, knowing the language a little bit helps there. And then also just being out and about. Like people like are curious. They keep seeing you. They're like, okay, you live here now. So look, what's going on with you? I had people address you, and you kind of tell them what's going on. And so yeah, I haven't had any issues with building community. There was one like weird moment when I had first moved here. I was like I had friends here, but I didn't want to keep bothering the same people. Like I wanted to like expand a little bit. And I went
Hmm.
to a mixer and that mixer was great. Like, but I'm noticing now that the older I get, the less I want to like force engaging. I'd rather
Oh
like it happen.
wow,
Yeah,
I
like I'd
love
rather have
that. I love that.
I'd rather just like let it happen organically. Like I don't want to go to mixers or, you know, forced engagement events. Don't really care. Rather just go out because I go out quite a bit on my own. Like I'll go out to bars on my own. I will go out to the club on my own.
I know
I
that's
will do
right.
I will do a lot of things by myself because I also don't deal with like people telling me what to do really well. Again, going back to that control thing, hate it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I will go out by myself and meet new people either that live here or people that live, other places. And I've met a ton of people from all over the world that way. And that's me
Wow.
everywhere. When I travel, I be going out alone because I travel solo. Like I don't travel with groups or anything like that. Like I can't. I go out alone all over the world. Went out alone in New York all the time too. Not so much LA because I had a bigger friend group there. Um, and that's kind of frowned upon for some reason in LA. But in New York, it's not. But yeah, I love it. I encourage it.
I love it, solo traveling. So you're like, would you consider yourself like a loner? Like you're content in your own energy. For a person to
Oh
be
yeah.
able to travel and enjoy your time, because a lot of people they have to have that connection and able to be able to say, "Oh, I had fun because I had another person." So for you to be able to travel and enjoy yourself, that says a lot about your character.
Yeah, for me, I have to be comfortable with myself in order to be comfortable with other people. And
Oh, I
I think
like it.
yeah, like I think a lot, I've had a lot of things happen to me, like personal stuff that has
Mhm.
sort of affected that sort of situation.
Okay.
Um, so parents divorcing, mom dying, issues with my father, what have you. Like, so I feel like I have to be good with myself to introduce myself to other people. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
I'm
It
kind of giving
does.
you a roundabout way to, it
No,
just,
no,
you
no. I
have to,
love it. And people need to hear this
yeah.
because it's so much more than passports, luggage, picking a country, having money, having income. This is the things that I like to unpack because believe it or not, a lot of people don't think about this because there's so much bullshit online and this fake narrative of what moving abroad or being abroad or traveling abroad is. So you are highlighting things that needs to be spoken on that people don't talk about. So it's good.
And it's I'm glad you said that because it's the romanticizing of it all, right? Like, oh my God, I'm moving abroad. I'm so fabulous. I'm luxury and girl, shut the hell up. Like, literally, shut up. You are still living your life at the end of the day. Like, it
Hmm.
is not just like uprooting your life and becoming a new character. Like, I feel like a lot of people are sort of doing that and feeling that. That's not real. That's not reality, right? Reality is still, your shit is not figured out and you're not addressing it and you're
And
perpetrating your
every
problem.
day, like you said, not addressing it. And every oh, I hope
Yeah.
I didn't cut you off.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay, okay. And I was about to say, and every day is like unlocking a new part of the game. It's like this game that you're playing. It's like The Sims. And every day
Yeah.
you're going through this new door and you're unlocking something new within a new door. Different color, different
Yeah.
number. Okay, I'm going to go through this door today. What is this going to
Hmm.
bring? So, like you
Yeah.
said, figuring that shit out. Is, yeah.
It's for me, yeah, and for me, like, yeah, move abroad, but like at the end of the day, like it is still life. Like you're going to have life things happen to you still. You're not just like
Yeah.
living abroad in a new country that's like forgetting everything about your life. Like you're still going to be going through depression. You're still going to be going through loneliness. You're still going to go through high moments too. But at the end of the day, like you're still living a life. Like I feel like people are quote unquote moving abroad to just like live in a fairy tale. But babes, wake up. Like it's still life, you know? It's not fake. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It's still like a reality, right? And
Yeah.
and,
And
and,
I
and
think
that's why I said, no,
people
go
move
ahead. What were you
abroad to
saying?
sort of forget people move abroad to sort of forget their reality and it's like, no, you still need to you gotta live in your shit.
You definitely do because, or else you're running, or you escaping.
That,
I'll say, right?
yeah.
So it's kind of it's like okay, okay. So as far as like visas or things of that sort, okay. So I know a lot of people take different routes. Some people decide to
Yeah.
go the route with getting a visa. Some people say, no, I'll stay this long, then leave, come back, border runs. What's your experience with visas living in Mexico?
Yeah, so in Mexico you get well Americans get I don't know if it's for everybody, but for Americans with an American passport, you get a 6-month travel visa here in Mexico at the moment. That's what I've been working off of and have had no issues. I am like pursuing permanent residency. But I think you have to do temporary residency first. There's like a process to it, like
Oh,
everything. So
okay.
you'll get like a temp residency, and then from there you can become a permanent resident. I'm definitely going to be working on getting that in the next few months. But yeah, I've been doing like the border run situation, which I think a lot of people do.
Okay, okay. So that's not it's not a hard time or anything with that. Is that pretty simple?
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and I think people are like intimidated by it, but I encourage you to not be intimidated. It's like I'm not telling everybody to come rush over here because I don't want that on my head. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying like it's not an intimidating process. You go, they give you a stamp, and you walk away. Like it's not like a form you need to fill out. Like I think there's a lot of like fake narrative out there about that. There's like some like stigma over it right now, given the relationships with our current president.
Hmm.
However, do your research. Don't believe fake news. Like there is a form that you do fill out on the aircraft, which has always been the process, before or after the man that's currently in the White House. So
Hmm.
that is not something new. That has been the process for as long as I've been going to Mexico. You fill that form out, you give it to the border agent when you get in line. They take it, they throw your bags on this conveyor belt, they look and see what's in it, make sure you're not bringing anything in the country. You go through, get your stamp, and you're in the country. It's pretty simple.
Sounds simple to me.
Very simple. I don't know what people just want to yell about on social media about there's a new forum, there's no new forum, there's no new process. It's the same process.
Sounds simple, very simple. And I'm so happy that we touched on that. So now, for everyone that's watching, oh, you can't get these many days. I see a fight about what Mexico's expectations is of visas every other day. So now we clarified that, guys. For everyone that's watching, you got clarification from someone that lives there. Okay, okay, because you know
Yeah, and
people that they.
I recommend. Sorry, there's a little
No,
delay, so
you
if I
good.
step, I'm
No, no,
sorry.
no. You good because it lags sometimes, but it's
I think
okay. What were you saying?
Yeah, it's lagging a little bit. I think too, like not even just Mexico. I encourage if you want to go somewhere else, like research the actual country's website, right? Don't be reading blogs and all of this other crap that's out there. Go to the source. Go to the country's website, translate it into English, and read what they are saying about coming into their country as a foreigner. Don't be believing stuff on social media, y'all. Like, do your research. It's very easy. Like, you will solve a lot of your problems with your process of moving abroad by doing research through reputable sources. And you go straight to the country that you're going to, they are most likely going to have reputable information on their website. So, that's all I say on that
I
because
hope
there's a
y'all were
lot of
listening to that. I think that's
yeah,
great advice. Great advice. Go to the
yeah,
website because things change. A lot of countries are shifting a lot of things. I know here in Thailand, every other day they got a new law or they switching back to something or they changing something or making something. It's like, damn. So you definitely gotta go to the website. Keep up with it.
yeah,
Keep up
yeah.
because it changes. Okay, so like
Hmm.
for insurance. Now I know everybody takes a different route for like insurance. So are you a fan of like travel insurance? Do you think that a person should already have some form of insurance from their native country? What has your experience been with that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't have travel insurance right now, but it is something I've been looking into. I think I kind of want to keep looking into it a little bit more. But I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea to like have insurance, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, you want to keep up with your medical insurance from America. But at the same token, I will say, like, medical care here in Mexico is way less confusing than it is in the United States.
Wow.
Like, if you need a doctor, I can walk out my door right here, walk up the street, literally like less than 500 feet, and go see a doctor and get medication right next door to that doctor and be done within an hour. Crazy, right?
That's
Isn't that
dope.
nuts? Yeah, it's pretty
That's
cool.
nice.
And they ain't asking me nothing about insurance, nothing. They just want pesos. And it's like probably like gonna be like 200 pesos, which is $10.
Wow, that's dope. Y'all hear that? Okay,
Isn't that
Mexico.
crazy?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what's up. Because you're
Yeah.
not having that experience in America. So,
You're not. You're not. And it's crazy to me that like, obviously I don't have like crazy medical situation.
mhm.
But if I did, I could probably get like quicker and like more efficient care here in Mexico than in our own country. And we paying all that money over there for what?
Exactly. Wow. So medical care is more affordable, guys, just so you know. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so as far as the city that you picked, because there's so many other cities, right? Is there
Yeah. Oh
something
my God.
specifically about that city that stood out or something really good about that city? Because you don't really hear many people move to Mexico. It's rare that I've ever heard them be where you are. So what was different about that location from
That's
everything else that made you say, hey, I want to stick to this particular city?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think it's right what you said. Like, you don't hear people be like, I'm moving to Puerto Vallarta, honey. You're like, what? Where? Huh? A
Right,
lot of people don't
right.
even know the city.
Yeah, they don't know
But
where it is.
yeah, a lot of people move to Mexico City, which is a problem because, like, there's a lot of that hoopla going on over there that I'm not even gonna get into. But y'all can Google it. The reason I picked Puerto Vallarta is it is the LGBTQ like capital of Mexico. And I don't know if you know, but honey, I am very gay, honey.
Okay, period.
And Okay. And I was like, I want to live somewhere that's like accepting of that, obviously. Like, I don't want to go somewhere that's not. And not to say that other places in Mexico aren't, but this is
Mhm.
just heavily concentrated LGBTQ center. And I wanted to experience that. Like, that's it. Plain and simple. I came
I
here,
love
saw it
it.
happening, and I was like, this is perfect for me.
I love it. And just to be able to have a form of comfortability, obviously that location felt most aligned with you and that's what you chose. So for anybody listening and watching, y'all hear that? Because I get many, many DMs from a lot of people
Mm.
who are part of the community and they always say, where is it safe for me to go? Well, got a new place for y'all. Look. Look, I ain't gonna overload and send too many there. You get what I'm saying? But I'm just saying,
And
I get it.
yeah,
I
and
get it.
Yeah, and another part to that too, I want it to be by the beach, and the beach here is stunning. It's so gorgeous.
Really?
Like, yes, the beach is beautiful here. Like, I love being by the ocean. I just feel a connection with it. I don't know if it's like my like me talking to my mom kind of vibes, but
Oh, I
yeah,
love it.
I love being close to the ocean and the water. And that's basically it. And I also, when I was here, there's a magic you feel when you're in this city here, Puerto Vallarta, like no other place. When I talk about leaving, I'm like, oh God, I don't know. Like leaving is gonna be very weird, but I gotta go. I'm not here to stay, I gotta see more of the world. But when I
Definitely.
leave, it's gonna be a moment. It's gonna be some tears shed. It is gonna be crazy when I leave. Like that's how I know I'm gonna be back, but it's gonna be rough. Like it's gonna be rough.
Have you
It's gonna be
decided when
very
you're
rough.
gonna leave yet, or you still just kind of letting it all play out?
Yeah, I love that. I have been letting it all play out, but I think it's time to like come back to reality and like figure out a plan. But I have a plan. Yes, I'm going to probably be leaving in March. Um, but not leaving Mexico though. I'm not
See,
gonna
look,
reveal
I
where I'm
love it.
going,
Because there's so many
but yeah,
places that you can go, and that's what I love about different countries. You don't have to just stay in one location. You can kind of bounce around and explore because you'll like one place, and then you'll never realize that there's another place calling that might not be too far away. And you're like, hey, I can get kind of comfy here for a minute. So I love that you're exploring. You're using that opportunity.
yeah, and I'll say a quick note on that. I think when you're in a country, it's easy to bounce around that country. Like usually when you're in one specific country, except America, obviously, United States is harder because it's child, they think all of us have money, so they're gonna rob our coins. But I think when you're in a foreign country like Mexico or even Europe, like it's cheaper to get around when you're in those like different countries. So like here I can bounce to another city that's on the other coast for like less than $100 one way ticket. Like that's unheard of in the United States. You can't get a one way ticket
Right.
for under.
And it's like, damn, I can't just pass up this opportunity. That's a big advantage to be able to do that. And
Yeah.
then it's like, you're there right now, right now. What other time in your life will you be there at that time, at that age, to be able to just do that? I love it. I
Yeah. I
love it.
say
I'm
if not
excited.
now, when?
I'm excited. If not now, when? That's the best. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go into what I know everybody wants to know about. So people always want to
What?
ask, what do you guys do for money? We want to know, are you working? Are
Um,
you doing this? Are you doing that? No matter how much we answer this question, it gets asked so much that it gives me a headache sometimes. And I'm just like, okay, I know that you guys care. I know that this isn't a big important part of every episode. So could you share with us your experience and what it is that you do to sustain your lifestyle abroad?
Yeah, I'm a trust fund baby. I'm just kidding. I wish.
Don't we wish we were though? Oh my God, sign me up.
Literally wish. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously I work, right? Like, how else would I be able to afford this opportunity? And I'm very grateful for that. I was working a full-time job when I moved here, and that job was remote. Um, I quit that job though, since I've lived here. I think I was like a year and a half into that role, but I outgrew the role, so I had to go. So now I'm back because before that well, that role was a talent management role. Okay, right? So before that, I had my own business. I was doing my own like social media marketing business for like 3 years in New York City. And so I'm now going back to that because I was so much happier doing that and I was making way more money doing that. And that's what I do now. So I'm back to sort of like doing my own entrepreneurship role, which is the social media marketing and management. And then now that I have the talent management experience, I'm also managing a few creators as well in the influencer space. And in addition to that, child, because we got 8 different jobs these days.
Okay, we
I'm
got to.
I'm also I'm also just now, this is going to sound crazy, but after so many years of managing other people's social media and making other people look good on the internet, I'm doing it for myself now. So I'm also starting to jump into the content game and doing my own content. And it's been great, honestly. Like since I know you met me on my I guess you call it like your like alter ego page, but obviously I have a personal page that has way more followers. And so I've kind of jumped from doing the like alter ego page back to my personal page now that I quit that job and can like openly talk about where I am. Um, and the response has been crazy. Like I'm doing your podcast, obviously. I got like a random brand deal offer. Like, what?
I
I didn't
love
accept it
it.
because it wasn't enough money, honey, but at the end of the day, there will be more that come.
There will be
And
right.
yeah, it's just, and I'm also hosting now. I'm like randomly, I did not even like expect this, but I'm hosting a cruise in January on Virgin Voyages. Like, huh? A year ago, you could not have told me that I would be doing that. Like,
Wow,
just because I
that's
opened up
such a
more
blessing.
on my own, yeah, and just owned my shit and brought it out. It's crazy.
Speaking of
New
owning your
life.
shit, right? Let's go deep. Let's go a little deep. I want to touch on the fact that people think that they're going to work remote jobs forever. And I always like to explain that there is a transition that has to take place when you kind of get in this mode where I feel like every person that moves abroad, they have to get to a point where they're going to step into entrepreneurship. Most people say, I don't know how to be an entrepreneur. I've never started a business. I've never did anything of my own. They've been used and accustomed to working under someone else for so long that they can't even imagine
Yeah.
anything outside of that. But I realized that literally every single person that moves abroad, they end up shifting into entrepreneurship. And your story
Yeah.
literally confirms that yet again, because you're like, yeah, I outgrew that position. It no longer was serving me. I had to do something different. And then I feel, and you probably will agree, that you got more into of a mode of something that you actually enjoy that you can profit from.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's no shade towards where I was working because it was fine, but at the end of the day for me, I have a certain way of doing things. And I
Mm,
have a certain way of treating people that I work with. And I have a certain respect that I tolerate and a certain level of respect that I give. And I don't want anyone else controlling that, right? I am the controller of that. Like, I want to, you know, be able to say, wow, like, I am going to be around the people that I want to be around, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be forced into something that I don't really believe in. And for me, that's why I needed to step back into that. Like, there were certain things that I was just not agreeing with, like, not my values. And it's like, that's fine if that's their values. I'm not shading it. Do you? But that's not something I want to be a part of. Okay.
Hmm.
So you have to and go back to what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, you can tolerate things for a certain period and point in your life, but at a certain point, it gets exhausting mentally and you can't take it anymore. And you're just like, okay, I need to make an adjustment here. And that's what I did.
And like you said, you outgrew it. And then it's like you're no longer in a particular environment anymore. So I feel like the energy
Yeah.
of your new environment also starts to show you like, yeah, this doesn't align it anymore. Let's do something different. And then you just got the courage. Because people just don't know how much location and environment affects us. I wish people understood it. And I think I look at the deeper side of it because I am an astrologer and I use astrocartography. So every location has literally a chart custom to it that shows you why you're having these experiences. People just don't realize how impactful location can be. So I bet you that being where you were like, I'm yearning for something different. We got to switch it up because you started feeling different because you were around different surroundings.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Like that role was very hustle culture, right? Like I'm retraining my brain that hustle culture is not the norm or anything I want to be a part of. And, at the end of the day, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. I'm not saying it's
Exactly.
bad, but it's bad for me. And I have control over my own life, not them. So I am going to take myself out of anything that does not align with my values. So I said peace and left.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. Like being in Mexico, like has totally altered my viewpoint on hustle culture and just like all that rat race of like making thousands and thousands of dollars. Like you don't need all that money at the end of the day. Like, do I make the same that I was making at that job right now? No, because I just started back on my own. But at the end of the day, I'm okay with what I'm making right now. Like, it's not like I am like trying to like live some means that are not, feasible right now at the moment.
Right.
In other words, it's
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so if someone were to come to you and ask you, "Hey, I'm looking to move abroad," what advice would you give them?
oh man, it's a good question. People ask all the time. Do it. First off, like why not? If not now, when? First of all. And I always encourage people to search on the internet and research where you're going to want to move. And an easy way to do that is whatever you are or whoever you are and what your values are, just Google, use ChatGPT, and it will spit out answers. And then once you have an idea of those countries and cities where they're saying that you should go, don't take that for fact, obviously. Then you want to go to YouTube and start looking at vloggers and TikToks and looking at people that are
Hmm.
boots on the ground and seeing what they're talking about and seeing firsthand what they're experiencing in this moment. And that can kind of tell you an idea of like, oh, wait, I don't like how that's going down for, my people. Okay, I need to not go there. Then you look at your other places, right? And then I think you need to go visit those countries that you kind of narrow your list down to and see what it's like for yourself. Um, so then you have that. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, once you have the place where you want to go, go. Literally just go. Like, don't think about it. Don't think twice. Just go. Leave. Get your shit and put it in storage if you have to. That's what I did. Um, is that smart? I don't know. Don't judge, but it's there, right? It's out of sight, out of mind. It's out of sight, out of mind. And then I think again, just go. Like at the end of the day, if you don't do it now, you're never gonna do it. So you have to just pull the trigger and go. That's my advice. It's very simple.
That's great advice. Just pull the trigger and go. I love it. I
Yes.
love it so much.
You
Okay,
won't
so
regret it. Trust me.
yes, I don't think none of us do. No matter what we experience, I can't say, I never hear anyone say, I regret this. Okay, so
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, what has been a pro and a con for living abroad? Just one pro, one con that you can share.
Okay. Yeah, a pro I would say is what we've kind of been talking about, right? Retraining my mindset to not be so aggressively, you know, hustle culture related or just aggressive in general, honestly, because we have
Hmm.
that aggressive personality as Americans.
Yes.
Retraining to just chill and like calm the fuck
It
down
really,
has been a pro. Like some things I'm just like, oh, well, I guess they ain't come to fix that thing. It ain't gonna get fixed today. You know,
just float
just
to the beat.
okay. Literally roll through the punches and flow to the beat because they be on their own schedules. Then a con, I would say, is it's what everybody says, right? Like, we do miss some things about our country. We miss some things about the United States. And certainly, I miss some things about the United States. I miss
We
eating
all do.
gumbo because they do not have andouille sausage here. Like, I cannot find it. And I
They don't
love
have sausage
andouille.
here either.
I know
And
that sounds
and
very
it is
basic.
sausage, right? It is right, but it's straight pork.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's chorizo here, and that you can't put that in gumbo. Like that's
Oh,
not
it's
gumbo.
chorizo. Yeah, that's not the same.
So yeah, it's like things like that um make, it con like, but at the end of the day, like I know I'm going to be able to go home. I can go home and experience that and then come back. So it's like that's like literally, I couldn't tell you anything like everything. It's honestly been majority very positive, which I know some people don't always have that experience, but what do I have to complain about? Like it's I'm living like I'm living the life that I always wanted to live. And it's like freeing and happy and like my mom and dad always said, "We want you to be happy." Well, shit, here I am. I'm trying and it's working.
Okay. Yes, I love it. You said it's not really like a negative, and I think that that's because of the mindset that you have.
Yes, again, you have to shift your mindset when you move because at the end of the day, babes, no one is living like Americans. Like nobody is living like us. And I think the beauty of that is you get to learn other cultures and how other people are living their lives and how simple they are living their lives and how much happier they are living that simpler life. Like it's a mind fuck. You're like,
You
what?
know what I'm saying? Yes, they probably don't got the jewelry, the luxury car, and the 7 bedroom house, but they got a peace of
They're
mind.
happy.
They have family around them that love them, friends, a community is a big thing, all of that. So
Yeah.
yes, it's simple, but it's so fulfilling.
That's another point too. Like just the overall like community vibe is so different. Like in America, I know I say in America, but in the United States, because they will yell, child, when you say that.
they
They'll be like,
will.
Mexico is America. And I'm like, yes, I know, but child, you know what I mean. Child, you get me.
They say that. I don't think I agree with that,
Yeah, they
but I
do.
guess is that a
They do.
thing?
Yeah, they do. Because it's like North America. They be like, Mexico is part of North America. It's too convoluted to like get into that
Yeah, that
battle with
sounds really
them. So
controversial.
I just agree and be moving on. But no, what I was gonna say is like when you're walking down the street in the United States versus when you're walking down the street in another country is so different. Like, especially here in Mexico, people say hello to you. Like, people are like talking to their family, they're talking to their neighbors, they're like, there's community events. Like, it's just a different situation. And I feel like there are those events in New York and in like the United States, but I can't explain it. They're totally different vibes. Like it just feels different, you know? You have to be
They
here to
are.
experience it to feel. It's different.
They are. It is very different. And I say that all the time. You just got to get out and have that experience to find out. Okay, so my
Hmm.
last question, which is kind of like, I feel like it's a important question because I like to get a different perspective from every guest. What has a culture shock been for you, a major culture shock? And what advice would you give to our audience on how to overcome culture shocks?
Oh man, culture shock. Ooh, there's been so many things. Um,
That's why I always
I
ask for one because I'm like, you could probably go for that. We all can.
yeah, I could. You know, how do I say this? I think I kind of alluded to it earlier with the time situation, right?
Hmm.
Like Mexicans sort of move at their own pace, slower. Like not everything is a rush to them, right? Like for instance, this is funny. I was up on the hammock upstairs and
Hmm.
I sat my big fat ass in that hammock and it snapped and it broke. It broke, child. Because we got big bones.
Okay, we a little
And
thick.
I told we are a little thick. I told my landlord about it, and he was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "I'm so sorry to bother you, but I broke the hammock." And he was like, "Oh my gosh, no worries." I was like, "I'll buy a new one." I was like, "I'll buy a new one, no problem." He was like, "No, no, 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 I'll get one." But child, that was a week ago. That was a week ago. Like he ain't tripping over getting a ham. Like there's other things going on in his life that he's probably focusing on, right? Like that
Right.
hammock is not a priority for him. But in my mind, I'm like, baby, I need that hammock up there. Like I need
Okay.
that to be repaired quickly. But again, they move at their own pace. So that is a culture shock. Like just things like I told him about something else, but he's really great. I'm just like I'm nitpicking a little bit, but he's a great landlord, better than anyone I've had in the United States. But it's like that kind of thing you have to really sort of like get used to that that is not the norm like around the world. People do not like move when you say move. That's not a
Hmm.
thing. They know. So how
Yeah,
do
and
you get used to that? Oh, sorry.
no, 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 you good. I was gonna say, as Americans, I feel like we have expectations for things to be like one time, because like in America, they do things at a certain fashion. Because even out here, I'll be sitting at a restaurant, and if I don't see nobody after a while, I'll be like, "All right, now, shit." Then I'll be like, "Okay, I'm being a
No,
Western."
that's a good point. Yes, yes. That's another point. That's here too. Here too. But then here too, it can sometimes be the opposite where they just be like on you. And I'd be like, okay, it's good. They be waiting to see your reaction when you eat it because they want to know, like, is it up to American standards? Because we're apparently the standard, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Okay,
But
the hell with that.
like, I'm like, it's y'all damn. Let me eat in peace.
Right. Wow. I'm cracking up. That is so
Yeah,
funny.
it's funny.
It, like you say, it's still things that we're unlearning. It's a process. Remember, this
It's
is
a
what we
process.
grew up from, raised in our whole life. So it's not going to be something that we can just turn off overnight. But the fact that we are accountable, right? And we realize
Yeah.
what we're doing. So we're joking about it, but we are self aware enough to know, like, okay, gotta work on that. You know.
Yes. You have to be self-aware because it you also don't want to like make enemies with where you are. Like you're moving to another country that's not yours. And then if you're nasty and rude about every little thing because it's not what you're used to, then you're gonna be looked at a certain type of way. And that ain't always the best kind of way. So I encourage you to just, like you said, self awareness is key. Exercise it as
I
much as you
love it.
can.
Yes, as much as you can. I enjoyed you so much today. I just appreciate you for being
Thank you. You
transparent
too.
and even being willing to share. Because everybody not always willing to share.
True, true,
I
true.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Can you tell us where we can find you for anyone that wants to come over and follow support your journey?
Thank you. Yeah. So yes, you can find me at Nick Guillory on all social media platforms, and my last name is spelled Guillory. And like I kind of mentioned earlier, I am hosting that cruise. So if you're interested, like hit me up. It's an LGBTQ focused cruise for like gay single men, and we are trying to find love. So, okay, you know
Ooh,
what that means.
spicy.
LOVE. Yes, I'm
Look,
super excited
y'all need
about
a
it.
show.
And it was,
Sound like y'all need a show.
yeah, we
Y'all need to
do
listen. That's
record
what's up.
everything on that boat.
Right, right. Look, some things, no phones allowed, okay? I love your
It'll be a good
energy. I love
time.
your energy.
Thank you.
I know it's gonna be
You,
so
you're a hoot.
nice. Thank you. We keep it's lagging, so it seems like we keep over talking. Every time I see you talking, I'm like, okay, let me be quiet, let him talk.
I know, I'm
Um,
trying.
I know it's cool. At the end of the day, you could just tell that it's natural. We just flowing. It don't have to be perfect. That's what I love about it. It's raw. I actually had to mute a couple times because my damn kids was in the background. I'm knocking on the table. I'm muting you while I'm banging on the table because I'm like, "Ugh, get the message." And this is why kids need to be in bed on time. See what I'm saying? Because mommy
Man,
can't handle business because kids want to be in the back. But no, I love this because it's raw, live, and in color, and
yes.
that's what people need to see. People
Yeah,
need to
and
see
that's
this
how
growth.
I do. I do my social media like that. Like I give you the raw, the unedited, the unfiltered, the authentic journey that is me, darling. What is there to hide? Who
Yep.
cares?
And you'll realize that you'll get a lot more respect and love, and more of your tribe will find you. People who are inspired, because
That
remember, a
part.
lot of people are scared to be their true, authentic selves, and the media teaches us that being fake, rises you quicker than being
Yeah,
authentic. So people shy away from it. So I like to promote authenticity here, guys. So thank you so much,
that
Nick. We
part.
appreciate Nick for being a guest today and being transparent and
Thank
sharing his
you.
journey. Make sure you guys head over and follow him, support his journey, show him some love. I will see you guys next Thursday for another episode. Any last words, Nick?
No, just enjoy life. We only get one chance to do it, so you may as well make it worth it.
I love it. I fully, fully agree. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you guys next Thursday. Peace.